our comments have exploded through the roof. So there you go.
Hey, I'm back.
Welcome back.
All of Lancaster's like, hey, Jeff's back at his spot on Monday at 2:00.
Glad to have you back.
Which means it's
Missed
time
you.
to get Lancaster connecting. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for missing me.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of talking the last few weeks. A lot more than normal.
You've had Drew step in.
That's true.
In my absence.
Who absolutely can talk.
Yeah, he can talk. Yeah.
He did a good job.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you don't want to podcast solo.
I mean, it's better with three people. It's just a better conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm not that interesting on my own. So yeah, need the podcast buddy.
Okay. I like the buddy system. You go swimming, you have the buddy system as a kid.
That's true.
You go down the street to the park, buddy system as a kid.
My daughter is going international this week. She's going to use the buddy system away. So
Yeah,
that's super
definitely
excited for
smart.
her trip there.
Yeah. And she's going where?
England, France, Germany,
French it
Belgium, like
Oh,
10 days school trip.
good for her.
Super cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, very, very excited for her. I traveled when I was in high school, and it was like kind of life changing. It was a very cool experience. So I'm excited for her. She's excited. So
She's going to get cultured.
she's going to get cultured. Red eye to London overnight tonight. So hopefully she can sleep on the plane. We'll see.
Yeah.
Our trip to Sweden when we went for Carpe Diem beds, was that
That
red eye
I'm
there or
pretty
red eye back?
Red eye there.
Yeah, we were like chasing the sun.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the sun was going down.
And the crazy thing about
Here,
that trip, it was
there.
like 4 days total.
Yeah.
So I think we got jet lagged when we got back. Like it was that quick of a trip.
Yeah. Steph and I stayed longer. We made a few days longer.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That was a fun trip. We came across the fjords, Christina, back after the town closed down at midnight on a boat, a speedboat with a guy named Cobra.
Okay.
And we hit a rock.
And he hit a rock in a speedboat.
And you went flying?
No, we lived.
He was just like, we got to get these Americans across the fjord, and just kept going.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
That's an experience.
it was an experience.
We're off the rails already.
We're off for the rails already. And we said we have to wrap a little early on this one. And so welcome back, Jeff. Jeff's here. Jeff's here, everybody. All right, let's get into my mattress buying tip, and then we will formally welcome Christina Diehl onto the show. So my mattress buying tip for you this week is think beyond just the transaction, right? And so you can make a mattress transaction in a ton of places nowadays, whether that's at a department store, a discount store. There's kind of jokes inside of our industry, even in a gas station. I'm sure Buc-ee's will have mattresses at some point someday.
Oh my gosh.
A Buc-ee Beaver mattress. That might actually be fun for kids. I don't know. It might be fun. At any rate, here at Gardeners, we are full service to the point where it's our team delivering in your home. Ben and I were just working on some material for that to better support our customers. We want to make sure you're happy. And is there a guarantee of your happiness? And that's our Wake Up Happy guarantee. And how long is that? And what happens? What are all those parts and the pieces? So make sure you're getting into a full service experience, something that is educational, informational, and guaranteed, that your happiness is guaranteed. And it's kind of hard to do that because everybody's a little different. Every mattress is a little different. But look, we are really here for the long haul. We're going to take care of you, even if it means kind of bending our own rules a little bit. We're going to do that to make sure you're happy. And we just had one of those instances in the store today. So that's what reminded me of this tip, is to make sure whoever you're investing in sleep with the next time you do it, we hope it would be with us here at Gardeners, is that you have a full service, educational and informative experience where it's more than just the transaction. It's more than just getting the rectangle home, because it is the thing that powers your life, right? You'd never knowingly plug your phone into a bad charger. Why plug your body in to a bad mattress and a bad company helping you with that purchase? So that's my tip. And I think it was pretty good.
It was.
For making up for a few weeks without. So there we go.
You don't have to make up. It's just every tip is great.
That's right.
Every tip is great.
That's right. All right.
All right. Yeah. Lancaster Connects. If you're tuning in for the first time, well, of course, if you're tuning in for the 100th time, thanks for tuning in. If you're tuning in for the first time, Lancaster Connects is a show where we have great conversations with great people doing amazing things in Lancaster County. And today's guest is now a 2-time guest on Lancaster Connects. We have Christina Diehl here. Christina, welcome back.
Thank you.
To Lancaster Connects. We're going to be talking real estate with Christina, and a lot of cool things that she's got going on locally, some conversation about recent assessments that went out. So stay tuned. A lot of great things we're going to converse about. But before we jump in, you've been tasked with a responsibility, big responsibility.
Yes.
Every guest since this past October has this responsibility. We got the Wheel of Discounts up here, special promotions for Gardner's Mattress and More, which is where we have this podcast studio, 830 Plaza Boulevard behind Park City Mall. There's some freebies, some discounts, some giveaways, donation items on this wheel, but it can't spin until you tell Chris
it to.
to spin
Yeah.
the wheel.
Spin that wheel.
Awesome.
Nice.
Very good. Where it stops, nobody knows. What's that say? Free mattress protector. Very good.
Wow, that's cool.
It's a good value for this week.
$59 purchase. I don't think that you have to purchase anything there. It's just a freebie. Come in and get a free mattress protector. Keep your mattress clean and dust mite free. Machine wash, warm water, tumble dry, low temperature. Every mattress in your home should have a free mattress protector. So come in, tell us you saw this. You saw Christina spin the wheel on Lancaster Connects, and you'll get a free mattress protector this week only. Well done. That was a good one.
Great. Yeah. I was trying to time it just right.
Well, you
She was
did it.
staring it down to
Yeah,
stop.
like,
Stop. Stop. Yep. So welcome back to the show.
thanks.
Happy to have you back. You're a 2-time guest now.
Hmm.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it was 2022 last time,
Okay.
That's
but I
crazy.
don't really know.
It feels like a
time
year
flies.
ago.
Well, we're episode 256, so
That's true.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. So, what have you been up to, and what's all new in your business of
Yeah.
real estate?
So with real estate, it's ever changing, and ever unpredictable. So it's hard to say what's new necessarily in my business. I've been doing the same thing for 16 years, building my business by referral, very much just counting on family and friends to trust me to help their family and friends or themselves to help them buy and sell real estate. So that kind of stays pretty stable. Probably the newest thing for me is being the president of LCAR this year. That's kind of a big change with different responsibilities than, being a realtor. So,
And what's LCAR?
oh,
I know.
Lancaster
They might-
County Association of Realtors.
Yeah, Elcar. You like this guy right now, July. If you're a hunter, it's like Pennsylvania hunting is like sending out all these notices. This hunting lottery, that hunting lottery. Elcar. I'm like elk. What? Where?
Elk. Oh, those Pennsylvania elk.
You heard a
Yeah.
different word.
I did. I heard. I'm like,
Well, that's when I'm like speaking it into my phone for text. It always writes like elk car. And I'm like,
Oh.
come on. Like it's elk car. Learn.
so you're the president of the Lancaster County Association of Realtors. What's that
Yes.
like?
It's been a great learning experience. There's been just a lot going on. Some of which I, can't really get into.
Mhm.
But I'm so glad I'm
We didn't-
doing
We
it.
didn't tell you about the
It's-
spill the tea segment.
No.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that
edit out a
happens at
bunch of it.
2:50.
Great.
before
Okay.
we end. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yes, it's a challenge and I'm glad I'm doing it. I've learned so much and I feel like I'm making a difference in helping just our local association. Realtors, if they want to be associated with National Association of Realtors and Pennsylvania Association of Realtors, they also would then be part of Lancaster County Association of Realtors, which holds licensed agents to a higher standard of ethics and just different, kind of regulations that they need to follow. But like also LCAR provides resources and educational opportunities and just a lot of things for local realtors to be able to utilize. So we're always trying to improve that and get the word out about that and things like that.
So I never really thought about it this way, but I know being a realtor,
Mhm.
and that's like you have to say it that way,
You have to.
right?
Yeah.
You can't say I'm
You
a
can't
realtor,
say realtor. It's like
Yeah.
saying Lancaster.
right?
Right.
What the heck's a
Like,
Lancaster?
get out of here. Yeah.
So that's the first thing. You come in and you do the pledge, like the Cub Scout pledge, which that hand I can do it. This hand I can't. You say, I pledge to say realtor. And when I write it, I put the R in the little circle after it.
Wow.
But talk about the higher standards, right? Because we say with our customers, look, we're in your home, we're in your bedroom, and not people don't necessarily think about it that way. Like, you're trusting us with your home to bring something into your home with two people you've never met to go to your bedroom. And often, like, I don't know many people that invite friends and family into their bedroom that aren't their spouse or partner. And so there's a lot of trust with us. Realtors sell people's homes, which have everything. That's their greatest asset. It's where their whole life is. So why does that higher standard matter so much? And then who are these other substandard people running around?
Well, most agents are going to be part of an association. It does kind of happen by default. And I mean, there's pages and pages of our code of ethics, which is, I forget how many articles long. It goes into a lot of different things, but suffice it to say, a lot of it just has to do with, working in your client's best interest and being forthright and honest, and, certain levels of confidentiality that you can't break, certain things you need to be aware of in regard to clients that are maybe already represented by another agent, and how you can or cannot deal with them, and just a whole set of standards that we hold ourselves to.
Yeah. I would imagine, as somebody who's 16 years in, well networked, well connected, you talk with other realtors about their buyers. If you have a selling listing or vice versa, that confidentiality thing becomes pretty important, because you don't want to violate anything. You also want to serve your people well, while also helping the other side win, right? Because I think that's what every good business does. Creates three wins: a win for the person buying, a win for the person selling, and then a win for the business.
Absolutely. Yeah, those are the best real estate deals, when it is really, you're looking out kind of for both people's best interests. You're contractually obligated to, serve your client the best, but making it, holistically a good experience is just always going to be easier and more beneficial.
But if it's overly lopsided on one end of the deal, that teeter-totter kind of balances out along the way, right? So, like, it might be a massive win for your seller to get this massive offer at first, but then the buyer is going to feel really beat up, like, I'm way over invested in this house, and now I've got to do all this stuff, and then now it just becomes, I'm going to stick to this point, I'm going to stick that thing in, I'm going to get this concession in, and it becomes a lot harder to get that deal across the finish line, doesn't it? Sometimes it depends,
which party has more leverage and what contingencies were included in the contract. Like, there's so many variables that can play into whether or not it's just a cut and dry offer and acceptance, or if there are things you figure out along the way. But ultimately, even times when maybe, the seller gets everything they want, a really quick close and a cash deal and no contingencies, the buyer can still be really happy because they got a good interest rate and they got the home they wanted, and they're, locked in for the next however many years. So
that's understanding where all those wins lie and how to get to each one.
Yeah, they might look different, but they're usually there.
Very good.
So Lancaster County, I mean, you would know this better than I do, is probably one of the hottest markets in the state, if not the country.
Yeah.
What are some opportunities and then challenges that exist within the Lancaster County market?
Well, so I think, I see people that are hesitant to buy right now, whether it be investment properties or primary residences, because they look at what, homes were selling for maybe even 10 years ago or 20 years ago. And they're like, oh, that's too expensive. And it's like,
we wish we would have bought back then.
Sure. Like, you probably should have. But they look at it and just think, well, that's unrealistic. I can't believe they're asking that much because it used to be this. And it's like, well, it's still going to sell, and probably with several people competing over it, because the demand is so high in this area. Right. There's not enough inventory really to keep up with the amount of people that really want to be here, because it's such a great place to live. So, did that answer the question? I'm trying to remember exactly what.
Yeah, just opportunities and challenges.
So yes, challenge, I guess, the challenge is wrapping your brain around the fact that the values are what they are right now. The opportunity is that there's no end in sight to how the values have been increasing and are going to. The longer you wait to buy, just the more equity you're losing by not buying sooner, and the more you're going to end up paying in the long run, because it's going to be worth more a year from now or 2 years from now. So, the opportunity is definitely, if you buy it and hold on to it, it's going to increase your
So you see
net
that
worth.
Trend continuing?
I don't see any reason why it would go away, knock on wood.
Right. Okay.
But yeah.
And why do you think people are moving? obviously people want to move within Lancaster County, but there's probably a lot of people moving into Lancaster County from outside areas. Why are they doing that?
Yeah. So I think one of the things is there are a lot of retirees, empty nesters coming this way because Pennsylvania is one of the unique states that doesn't tax pensions.
Oh,
So
okay.
automatically it's on the radar of people that are, you know, selling their $1 million plus homes in DC or New York or
Yep.
even on the West
Yep.
Coast. And they start, you know, researching Pennsylvania. They see Lancaster County is still very affordable compared to where they're coming from. But they see what Lancaster County has to offer, the small town feels,
Yep.
the, you know, surrounded by farmland, you can
Farmland,
get
yeah.
fresh produce and you can go buy a whoopie pie, buy a, you know, a roadside stand, but you can also get really great.
Just won over that
I mean,
host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Whoopie pies.
could have said the whoopie pie first, and I'd have been lining
Are
up
they
Yeah,
in your
not the
Are
produce,
they in
the
your
whoopie
candy
pie.
drawer over there
They're
right now?
not.
No, they're not. Okay.
Because they go bad.
But then we also have, like, in downtown Lancaster, and then even in other towns around the county, we have amazing cuisine that's been
Yeah,
nationally recognized. So you have kind of the best of both worlds, and it's just there's something magical, I think, about Lancaster County. I've been here my whole life, but
Okay.
I've just really learned to appreciate it.
Yeah, we do a lot of business here at Gardeners with people that have moved into the state and into the county from areas outside, especially retirement communities, Willow Valley, Brethren Village, people relocating here.
So it is, yeah, a lot of
Yep.
retirees.
Yep.
Like, yep.
I wasn't
Wow.
aware of the no tax on pensions
I
thing.
didn't know that either.
Well, that's, yep.
That's what she's like, that's why I'm the president of LCAR, not hunting, Lancaster County Association of Realtors. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm the money girl,
That's why. Yes.
right? You saying that, not me.
I know.
So that's interesting. No tax on pensions. I never knew that.
Yeah, didn't either.
That's news to me. Okay.
Something to look forward to.
Well,
Yeah.
this is a great transition, and what I'm excited. I said this before.
Yeah.
Millage, tax assessments.
hmm
Blah.
Let's get into that.
Yes.
So recently,
hmm
the news. This was recently, maybe a month ago or so.
Yeah.
A lot of local taxing jurisdictions, i.e., school districts, right, and the county. Well, school districts are releasing their budgets now for the
Coming
not
here.
this coming fall, but the next school year. Talk us through how you navigate those notices
Mhm.
of updated assessment, and then where millage comes in,
Mhm.
and break it down for plain English folk like
Sure.
myself.
Yeah.
Who need
So-
help.
Lancaster County has, I want to say, an agreement with itself that they will do a reassessment every 8 years.
So it is
So-
8.
Yeah. So the last one was like 2017, 2018, because it takes, you know, almost a year to get through all the things that need to be done. And the reason it's, you know, healthy for the economy for that to happen is just to keep the values of the real estate in line with keep their assessed values in line with what they could actually sell for or likely would sell for. So if, you know, like if we were being taxed on still what they were worth, that's going to get confusing. Never mind. It's important to incrementally make sure that the assessed value is close to what the market value would be, because there are other counties around the state that haven't done a reassessment in decades and decades.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they're way off kilter on what their the taxes should be. And if one area kind of really increased in value because it became more desirable for whatever reason, and another one decreased in value within the same county, things are going to be really off. This one might be assessed higher, even though its market value is now lower than this place over here that maybe had some, like, you know, revitalization done there that increased the value. So yes. So there's a county assessment office. They, worked to figure out the market values and then mailed those estimates out to homeowners. And then there is an appeal period. So if you are a homeowner and you feel like there's no way that my home would sell for that amount, like you just think that's way high, which, like we spoke about earlier, a lot of people kind of feel like, no, there's no way my house is worth that. It probably is, because Lancaster's increasing in value. You can contact the assessment office and schedule an appeal where you can show up and you sit in front of or you stand in front of, I want to say it's 3, I don't know how many, appeal agents are there, but you make your case about why your home is probably not worth that much. And then they either say, okay, you're right. Or they say, nope, sorry, our, estimate stands. If you get your assessment and you think it's like way low, don't say anything.
I was just going to say, I bet you people are like, yep, wrong, but I like it wrong.
Yeah,
wrong
but I think some people that don't know are like, well, that's not right. I'm going to go, I want my property to be worth. And it's like, well, no, that's probably going to just result
because
in you paying more taxes than you need to.
Less taxes for you in the meantime. And then if and when you do sell your home, if you're in between this assessment period, the current assessed value is going to be lower.
Right.
So that's a good thing for the next
lower for the next buyer. Yep.
Yeah.
Do people generally like get that assessment and then go on Zillow, a tool like Zillow, or are there other tools that people can use to kind of get an estimate of their value?
I mean, I've seen a lot of realtors are even kind of like putting it out there like, hey, if you have questions about your property value after you got your assessment, reach out. I can do a, free.
Okay.
And you're one of those realtors.
CMA. Yeah, I would gladly do that.
What CMA? Current market analysis.
Comparative market analysis. I had like my brain farted for a second there. Like I was like, what is it
Country
stand
Music
for?
Awards.
You're like, he's almost right. Wow.
You helped me out. But yeah, and it would just be taking, similar homes that have sold near that subject home recently within the last 6 months to a year and seeing if it kind of matches up with what the
and so if somebody were to want to appeal, it would be wise for them to do a CMA, comparative market analysis, maybe reach out to you.
Well, and some people,
then go before the board with that analysis and say, I can understand what you're saying, and here's what the neighborhood has sold for.
Yeah.
So how do we find middle ground here?
Right. Make the case. Some people do hire an attorney to represent them in front of the appeals. Or an appraiser to do an official appraisal, which could be, several $100s, but if you feel strongly that your, value is off, it might be worth it. And some people just represent themselves. You can kind of like do it however you feel comfortable.
Okay. So there is that opportunity to appeal. So beyond the assessment though,
yes,
there's the actual word where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
Where the taxes meet the wallet, and that's called millage.
Yes.
And millage is, correct me if I'm wrong, established by your local school board, correct?
Your local municipality. And I think both actually.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be several different millages.
Yep.
And the millage is essentially like the decimal, number that they're going to multiply your assessed value by in order to figure out what your actual tax burden is. And so when a lot of people, got their assessment and they're like, well, that's 3 times higher what I paid for my house, or twice as much as what I thought it was worth, or whatever. So they automatically think, well, that means my taxes are going to be 3 times higher. Wow. And that's couldn't be further from the truth. The county needs to maintain the same tax revenue level. It has to be revenue neutral once these assessments are all said and done. So once they get through all the appeals and have the final number of what each property is worth or assessed at, then the millage rates get adjusted for each municipality to make sure that the money that's being brought in is not any higher than it was, the previous tax year. So for some properties, their taxes might even go down. Their assessment went up, but however the millage rate ends up being decided, it could result in it going down or staying the same, maybe going up a little bit, but it's not going to skyrocket by any means, but it has to stay neutral.
So the millage is your multiplier, if you will, your percentage of your assessment that arrives in a tax bill. So if you have per $100,000 of assessed value and your millage is, let's say 3.5%, that'd be $3,500.
There you go. Yeah. Math.
I don't know if I'm using real numbers there, but I'm using numbers.
But that's the idea. Yeah.
And I'm pretty good at living a former life as a commissioned sales rep. I'm pretty good at drawing those 1s and 3s and 5s and 7%. When we get to double digits, because not many commissions were double digits in my day, math becomes a little harder, but yeah. It's pretty good.
Now we know your secret.
Yeah, exactly.
Christina, you said Lancaster does this every 8 years.
Pretty much.
Kind of
And
like double Olympics.
They're supposed to do it every 8 years.
And that's a good thing for the community to make sure that the community is generating the
think
revenue
so.
to keep the community going.
Yes.
What happens to these communities that you said there's some neighboring ones that aren't doing it? What happens, like haven't done it in decades? Like what's...
You know what? I don't really have a lot of firsthand knowledge
Okay.
about these other areas. I just know about them anecdotally. But you can imagine it would be a huge shock if, you know, County X, everyone thinks their property value is around $20,000 or whatever they bought it for 50 years ago.
Right.
And then all of a sudden the county comes
Has to
in and is like,
change all at
actually,
once.
it's worth 300 now. And
That
it's
would be a
just not
big
good to have
jump.
that big jump.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're still going to have to adjust the millage, but it just makes more sense to kind of do it more
Yeah.
frequently. So it's not as crazy.
Yep, that
you
makes
know, the
sense.
jump.
So the other part that I read is a third will see no increase, a third will see some increase, and a third will see a decrease
Yeah.
thereabouts. So
Approximately,
like obviously 2 out of 3 people are going to be happy with that. But what if you're that 1/3 where you're going to see an increase? How, again, is this the appeal process to satisfy that, to maybe get no increase, or you just have to accept it?
No, there's no use in appealing just because you want, like,
Lower
you want
taxes?
them to lower your assessed value because you think it'll result in lower taxes. The only reason you should appeal is if you genuinely think they will agree with you
Right.
that this number is not right. Because if you go in and say, hey, I think it should be this, and they're like, well, no, all the data shows it's this, you just waste your time. It is just kind of, almost like a luck of the draw kind of thing. There are going to be some people that see slight increases, but again, it won't be anything like detrimental. I think there can be more than a 10% increase, and
Right.
that's the highest that it would be.
Right. Well, okay. Well, hopefully that helped some folks understand.
Also, if I can mention, on lcaronline.com, lcaronline.com, we have some resources that help educate people about the assessment, and even a little like 20-minute YouTube video that one of our members did an interview of the director of the assessment office. So that has a lot of good information in there too.
So that was lcaronline.com.
Online.com.
There we
There
go.
it is.
There we go.
Oh, and we're right at the top there, 2027 assessment, something.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it's good to be informed about your property. It's easily, my wife and I have lived in our house now for 18 years, which is hard to believe.
Right.
Like, it's just hard to believe that it's been that fast, and it's been 18 years. But I pay attention to where our taxes are at.
There we go.
And
Oh, Richard, I think I bought a house from him a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Like
great. He's my neighbor.
2006, I think. My goodness.
Yeah. He's been around.
Wow.
He's
So
great.
see, that's what every realtor, like, you just like kind of little stab in the back for Christina,
didn't know
as a realtor
Christina
sitting
then.
beside you. Like, oh, you
I
know,
wasn't a realtor then. I was in like grade school. And
Yeah, see?
Great.
Showing my age.
There you go.
Thanks,
I love it.
Christina.
I love it. But no, what a great resource.
Mhm.
I hope that some of this was helpful. Obviously, if you have questions, Christina's contact information is in our show notes where you're picking this up, or on social channels. You could connect with her socially if you want, and she could run that CMA for you, help you navigate that. If it's unlikely to be worth her time or your time, maybe just point you to the resource. Because your assessed value might be 20 grand, and it's time for that to come up because it is Lancaster County.
True.
And you've been a tremendous beneficiary of that for a long time. And I mean, I'm a limited government, no tax kind of person. As little of that in my life as possible. And I also see need a place like Lancaster County where it is burgeoning, it is blossoming, it is becoming bigger and bigger. We do need a tax revenue. We need a tax base.
Mhm.
We need a tax base for roads. We need a tax base for services. Ben, your neighborhood, we were talking about the storm that took down a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Some of that is your responsibility as a homeowner, but then there's things like creek beds that swell and rot away. They got to be fixed. Well, who fixes that? Well, municipality likely often comes in and does that. Well, where does that come from? Every 8 years, double Olympics, time to do the assessment. That's what I call it now.
Nice.
Double Olympic time, every 8 years. Tax Olympics. That's the term. It's tax Olympic time.
Like a
Yeah.
logo.
Sounds
Reassessment.
way more fun than it is.
Reassessment time is tax Olympics. So
The,
there you go.
the new one.
Book it right there, Chris, at 2:30 on Monday, July 20th. Trademark, hashtag trademark. We get 5 cents every time somebody uses it.
Tax Olympics. All right. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
So I know we're ending a little early and we're not at that time yet, but we want to talk about the Lancaster City Revitalization and Improvement Zone. Did I say
cool.
that correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that CRIZ?
Chris.
Not to be confused with Riz,
No.
which all the young kids are talking about.
It's very different.
Although,
City Riz.
although it sounds like if this plan all comes into place and all the greatness you were telling us about pre-show, yeah, it would have a lot of Riz to it.
Yeah. Did you have a specific question or should I
Oh,
just
yeah.
kinda-
Well,
yeah.
you're part of it. You're the chair.
Chair
of
of
the
the
board.
board. Yeah.
And I don't know anything about the
Yeah.
CRIZ.
Yeah.
Can I call it CRIZ?
Chris. Yep.
So what is it? And what is your involvement with it?
This was a program that the state decided to kind of roll out kind of in a pilot way 15 years ago, 10 years ago. I should know that. I think it was about 15 years ago. And it was a way of, you talk about, small government keeping taxes local. It allows Lancaster City, like 130 acres worth of designated area within the city,
Oh, wow.
to keep the tax revenue, the business tax revenue that's generated, instead of it going to Harrisburg and just getting kind of like disseminated wherever, comes directly back to us, comes back to the CRIZ board to decide where to invest it. And we have, guidelines that we have to stay within that the state has set up. It can only be used for certain things in certain amounts. But we've been able to do just so much investment and so much good for small businesses, giving them, grants and low interest loans. We've done a lot of investment like in Ewell Plaza and the Marriott, the convention center. A lot of that kind of, I want to say, wouldn't have been able to happen if it weren't for the CRIZ injecting, sometimes millions of dollars to really make these things happen. So something new that we've been working on developing for a little over a year now, actually, is a small area plan around the stadium district. So around up where Penn Medicine Park is, and kind of, it's up right by the train station. And there's a lot of undeveloped land there, lots of grass and things like that. And just so much opportunity to really build up, some more residential units, which we need more of, office space, parks, venues. The possibilities are endless, but we have been working with a consultant team, and doing a whole bunch of different things to figure out the best use of that space and to start getting, well, we've already gotten the local property owners there on board. They're very excited about it, and they've been part of the process, even with the consulting team over the past year and a half. But the plan is to use CRIZ funds to help with infrastructure and things like that just make it a lot easier for a developer to come in and be like, cool, yep, I'll build this here because you already did the roads and the, water and electric and whatever else. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah, a couple of things as I hear you talk about it. Sounds very exciting. So first of all, Penn Medicine Park, for those that aren't completely up with all the Riz going on in the city, Clipper Stadium.
Yes.
Which we've known for a long, long time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old habits, hard to change sometimes. At Penn Medicine Park, they bought, they have the naming rights for the stadium.
Yes.
Right. So that's
exactly
now Penn Medicine Park. So that's the area we're actually talking about. I love how the funding of CRIZ happens. It is very reminiscent of what some of our charities use in EITC funds.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Nice.
You're familiar with those? Yeah. So for those listening who might not be, this is where, let's give a plug because we'll be there on Wednesday, my wife and I, at Swan for Kids. So Diana Volo, she does music education for kids whose parents are incarcerated and supplements the regular K through 12 education with music education after hours. Does great work for them. 1,000 kids have gone through her program. And to her knowledge, not one has followed the path of their parents by getting incarcerated.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
EITC funds are tax monies that businesses have taken and applied, and there's a process. and your state tax liability as a business just goes through an EITC approved charity, which Swan for Kids is one of them. And there's others up here. I just can't seem to remember which ones, but we've had a handful. Those money you just get to say, I'm going to pay to Diana and Swan for Kids. So
Yeah, that's great.
Like you said, instead of going into Harrisburg's general fund pot to do who knows what with, now that money stays here in the CRIS, in the ITC. It stays in those educational formats and vehicles that you as a person and taxpayer feel connected to. So I love that part.
Nice.
That's very, very cool.
It is very cool.
And then you said, you make it so developers excited about buying, or not about buying, but buying and then developing their project. What makes them unexcited about buying is some of the stuff you're doing as CRIS, and that's getting the infrastructure done, getting the approvals done, the permitting done.
Yeah. If we can take away some of those obstacles and expense, it makes it much more of a, slam dunk for them.
Took the word right out of my mouth, the expense.
Yeah.
Because that's the hard part, talking with our landlord here about certain things. Like, he's shared some numbers with us about what it takes to build and the time. And it's just such a burden. And to me, that's something we got to fix. I don't know that that's for you to fix, but I think as a general society, we got to get rid of some of this stuff that adds such expense, such time.
Yep.
Because it means something to somebody who's paying rent right now. It means somebody to somebody who's buying a home for a mortgage, because that time and money to hold land, hold property, pay interest on that land, pay interest on that property, pay interest on all the operating expense to bring a project up out of the ground, it's got to be repaid somewhere.
Yep. Yeah. It just makes everything more expensive.
It does.
The end user. Yep.
It does. And that's going all the way back to home values. It's one of the reasons home values are what they are. It just doesn't, there's just not the same cost. There's not the same regulatory burden that there once was. And there's more. And so we've experienced it as business owners, and I'm sure you know it too. So it's awesome what CRIS is doing to speed that up and make it an easier runway for things to come up out of the ground. You talked about the landowners and property owners around. So, like, how are they excited and why are they excited?
I think a lot of it has to do with community. I think it's people that have, owned there for a long time and really just want to see Lancaster thrive and grow. That seems to be a big part of why they are like, yeah, let's go.
I'm tired of looking at this stone gravel grassy patch of land. I'd much rather see a park there or a business there or something I can benefit from.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's the timeline on a plan around the stadium? I mean,
it'll be years.
Yeah. But slow improvements all the time.
So we're still, honestly, the final plan has yet to be devised.
Okay.
It's very much still in the works, but I think even once that's done, it'll be years. You know how it goes.
And Chris had the website up here, the CRIS website. Anybody that's interested in learning more can find out more on the website.
Yep.
Right. Very cool.
That's the place to go.
Very cool.
So real estate's like in your blood.
Yeah, I guess it is, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not only do you help people buy a home, which is one of the biggest things of, I think, the American dream, right? Upper mobility, wealth, all that good stuff. But you also have investment property. So tell us a little bit about why you love it. And and then you have this money girl thing too. Let's talk about that.
Sure. Well, I grew up, with a father that kind of taught me about the value of owning rental properties. So I was very fortunate that I just really took to that. Not only did I have someone that was able to explain it to me, but also it actually resonated very much with me. So I knew.
And did he have rental property?
He did.
He did. Okay.
Yeah. I used to, even when I was really young, I would go and help him work on his properties. So I learned how to do the construction and labor type side of things. But at the same time, he was in my ear, like, do you understand how, this is beneficial to own something that someone else is paying off? And, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So, so I always knew I wanted to own investment properties and own my own home. And I never wanted to be a renter and stuff like that. And kind of that is what eventually translated into me wanting to be a realtor. That first came the investment aspect of it. And I don't know, I feel so passionate about the power of real estate that it made me want to help other people get into that and buy and sell and really go from like kind of an educational standpoint to help them make those decisions and encourage them to take that leap, you know?
Yeah. So do you help people analyze a potential investment property for themselves too?
Yeah. I don't get, there's so many charts and equations and books that you can buy about make sure that it has this exact, cash flow for this, whatever. I don't get that into the weeds. My equation was always like, am I cool with it bringing in this much? If my upfront cost is this much, do I feel good about the location that this is in? Do I think it's, going to get better, or am I worried about it? It was very much about feeling for me. And I think that kept me from hesitating. I see so many people for years be like, I really want to buy an investment property. And then they like look at one and they're like, oh, well, and they're just crunching numbers. And by the time they're done crunching numbers, it's already sold. Or they decide like, oh, it's not exactly the right number. So then they don't. And then 3 years later, I'm like, you realize if you had just bought that, and maybe it wasn't exactly the right number or whatever, you would have all this equity right now. You would have been having someone else pay off the mortgage this whole time. You would have been having depreciation, expense cut down on the taxes that you owe every year. All these benefits you lost out on because you hesitated. And I, to a fault, like never hesitated. Like I'd be like, oops, I bought another house. And I'd be like, I'm not buying anymore. And then I would like go to my friends and be like, guess what I did? I bought another house. Like, because I was addicted to it. And so anyway, to answer your question, yes, I do try to help advise people on how to buy investment properties, but I don't use the strategy of like all these numbers. Obviously, you have to do it responsibly, but usually I'm just like, just buy it. Just buy it, just buy it, just buy it. Yeah. Like if there's something you can buy it. And I think that's good advice usually.
Yeah. Go with your gut.
There's a lot in that of what you said. I think one of the keys to success is having a couple different off ramps on a property, right? So if you can get something that's got a high equity upside and a good rental income, you got two. If it's in an up and coming neighborhood, well, that's a third, right? So you want to me, you'd want to look at things that have those different off ramps if you need to get off at some point, as opposed to being like, oh crap, I'm going down the highway. I didn't mean to get in the HOV construction lane with the cattle chutes. And now I'm on this thing and I'm stuck. Right.
Yeah. No, that's
not a good feeling.
That's a great point. Yeah.
You want to plan your route, plan your exits, and know that, it's not meant for you're only married. I'm only married to one person in my life. That's it. Everything else can change.
Nice.
It's a warning to you. No.
Uh-oh. But I think also
we don't have a ring for each other. That's what you're saying.
No, we don't.
Maybe you should. I think something important to also note is that early on, the properties that I would buy, they wouldn't cash flow much. I was in it for the long haul. And I was like, eventually, once I pay these down, or when the rents increase, or any number of things that can contribute to that, eventually they're going to be bringing in more cash and increasing my net worth. But I'm okay with sitting with just, $100 or $200 cash flow right now because I see the bigger picture. And I think that's also an obstacle that people fall into, that they are like, well, it's only going to make me $200. And that's so short-sighted when it comes to real estate.
Yeah. Well, and if you're also, I need that $200 to make my bills each month personally, that's a bad position to be in.
Yeah.
You can't run the business pot of money like your own personal checkbook. They've got to be separate. They've got to be able to sustain and stand alone separately. So very smart. Very smart. How would people, if, I don't think this is your primary business or thing, but if people are interested, what would be the way to connect with you on that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if my email address is up there, but they can text or call.
All your stuff is in the show notes.
Social media people reach out on too. So I'm always available, via phone, essentially. It's everywhere. Right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Christine, the last time you were on the show, we talked about your Money Girl book.
Oh yeah.
And Chris flashed it on the screen a few minutes ago. Maybe just give us a little recap of what that book is and what you do with it.
Yeah. It's almost like we kind of talked about the gist of it. Not really. I mean, I do talk in there about how I got started being interested in buying real estate and what that has done, for me. But really what I aimed to do this was probably, I started it maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It was probably 2019 or 2020. And I started to notice as I was getting more financially independent and having, income from rental properties, hearing so many people being like, I wish someone had told me that when I was in high school. I wish I knew this earlier. I would have done so many things different. And I was like, oh my gosh, people just need this information. Someone needs to write a book. And I think that's what I was saying for a while. I was like, someone really should write a book to make sure that like high school age and college age people aren't falling into this trap of like getting into debt and not having strong money habits and not understanding that you can create streams of passive income for yourself. So that was, finally, I was like, well, I guess I should just do it because I don't know who else is going to. Hardest thing I've ever done, writing that thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was, I'll never do it again. But yeah, I think a lot of people, even my age, ended up kind of buying it or buying it for people that they love that are, high school age. And I hope it has helped people. I really don't know, even if it helped one person not fall into that trap of debt and things like that. That'll make me happy.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. There's good. Well, and on that note, before we look to wrap up, there's good debt and bad debt, right?
Absolutely.
Good debt in what you outlined in, hey, if I have this piece of property, that is debt. It is cash flow positive, even if it's $100 a month, because every month that ticks by is another month of equity created, and then years, and then decades, which I'm sure at this point you've got properties that are at least a decade or more that you've had. Yeah. So I'm not going to say 2 decades.
Absolutely. No,
I'm a
my
smarter
first
man
house
than that.
was 2005. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you said it.
So
Not
a
me.
couple decades.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's the thing. Even if it's only cash flowing $100, it's still, they're paying your mortgage for you. You know, that's money that is already going into your equity and paying your bills. And so it's only $100, in your pocket maybe, but it's still generating wealth for you.
Right. But so there's good debt, there's bad debt. In Money Girl, you talk about all of that, and you're so right about what kids ought to be taught, or things that should be supplemented in their learning at school. Yeah, things that you talk about in the book. Things like, what are the 5 things of credit? We had a great credit repair specialist on with us not too long ago. That I think that was me. I was solo that day.
You were solo.
Yeah. Where were you?
Oh,
I think I was out of town. I was on vacation.
That's right. You were in that. Yeah.
Thank you.
But we try to bring, that's why I was excited to have Christina on to talk about millage and the assessment thing. That's why we try to bring people on the show that help our community to understand, because where else do you go to get this? We don't have anything to sell you. Christina doesn't really have anything to sell you per se, unless you want to buy a home. And then we would recommend you to talk with her, or sell a home. And, but this is just a way to get great information from people that are out here doing it right here in our backyard.
Yeah.
And we're here making that connection.
It's awesome.
So thank you for stopping by.
Yeah. Happy to.
Okay.
You have time for the connection cocktail?
Sure thing. Yeah.
A few questions to get to know our guest a little bit better. I guess I'll kick it off. Long drive. Are you listening to a podcast, music, both?
Yeah,
what are you listening to?
So there are a couple podcasts that I love right now. One is the Ben Azadi Show, which is like maybe 20 minutes or so every morning. And it's a lot about just kind of like nutrition and natural, healthy living. It talks about fasting, talks about just, good natural, remedies for maybe, living the healthiest life that you can, kind of thing. So I like that.
So that's important to you. That's cool.
Yeah. And I love the Joe Rogan podcast.
All right.
Like that one's long, it's like 3 hours usually.
Strap in.
But you can just, so many different topics. You never know where it's going to go. And it's usually pretty interesting. Yeah. So I like that. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Thanks
for sharing.
I'm going to change the question up because we have a friend in common.
Oh.
So if Nell Tice had to describe you using one word outside of work, what would it be?
That's not fair.
What the Nell? Hey, Nell, hopefully you're listening. If not, she'll tell you
she's in Greece right now. She's not listening.
Oh.
Well, she should be. I mean, this is the most important hour
worthy
of the 24 hours
across
a day.
Time zones and oceans.
Yeah.
Now it's the second. I have another friend. Susan's in Greece right now.
I know like, 4 people in Greece right now.
Wow.
What's happening
So
in
I
Greece?
don't know. It's the place to be. We should have done this there.
Why weren't? Hey, Stone, Chris.
Like
He's-
knock on the.
I mean, seriously.
I don't know what Nell would say. We have so much fun together. Like there are so many words and we're ridiculous together. We like
So ridiculous might be.
maybe
the word.
it's ridiculous. I wonder
Yeah.
if she would say that. I should ask her.
That's the
later.
first description that we've had on the show like that. Ridiculous, yeah.
We think up stupid stuff. Like we decided that we want to cook rabbit. Like this was months ago. So we officially have Rabbit Day on the calendar. It's coming up in August. Like we like set aside a Sunday to have Rabbit Day, and we're gonna like figure out how to make a rabbit ragout and eat it. I forget some of the other days we
Where
have.
are you getting the rabbit?
So Savory Gourmet and Lidditz often has them,
yeah,
but
yeah.
also the other day I was at Central Market and there was a stand that had rabbit.
Okay.
I'm sure, I'll be able to get it. But
My neighbor could probably
we
get you
just
one.
we try to just
I was
figure out
just like I could be your
random stuff.
Huckleberry. I'll look in the hunter's book and see when rabbit season opens. It comes with your regular tag. I'm pretty sure. There's a whole bunch of things that come with your regular deer tag, and I think rabbit's one of them.
So you've never had rabbit before.
I have. I don't know if Nell
Okay.
has.
But Rabbit Day's coming up.
But
in
we just
August.
thought, it's just a random thing. We just get these ideas and then we're like, let's get it on the calendar. And it's usually like months in advance, but then we always have like these weird things to look forward to.
That's
It's
awesome.
pretty ridiculous.
Love it.
Ridiculous
It's
rabbit
ridiculous.
ragu.
Yes.
That's going to be
Okay.
the recipe.
That's another trademark.
It's 5 cents this way every time it gets used. All right.
All right. Local business you love supporting that people should know about.
Yeah. I love New Holland Coffee Co.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been there?
I know there's one in Lidditz now, right?
Yeah. There's a bunch
Or no,
of
is that the coffee?
or that.
No, that's New
It's New
Coffee.
Holland, yeah. So I fell in love with it like when it was on King Street in
Yeah.
the city because I can walk there. And during COVID, they were smile friendly. And so I just ended up there a lot. And everyone there's so nice and their coffee is so good. And it's just a cute little atmosphere. And I just feel like, everyone should go to New Holland Coffee.
Very good. Love it. What's your favorite drink there?
Well, I'm a black coffee kind of girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Nothing fancy.
boring with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
No.
Yeah.
There it
Chris
is.
haven't. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Their food's good. Everything's good.
You're on this, but you weren't on the grease thing, Chris. Thanks.
Chris is just going to delete the
Giving
show
our
end
producer
early.
crap from across the airwaves. All right. So we're a little bit past 4th of July, but that doesn't matter because it's still the 250th year
I
of
love that
America.
question.
We still have our regalia up on display, although I notice it's a little worse for the wear as far as weather goes. Not the flags, but
The banners.
the banners.
I had to give him a haircut the other day.
Yeah. But
Oh.
so from your view, what makes America so great?
I think it is the opportunity that every individual has in this country. I
Wow.
think it can be so taken for granted. You just kind of assume every country has the freedom to make whatever out of yourself that you want. You know, it takes personal responsibility to work hard to use that opportunity to create something. But no other country can someone just kind of really pull themselves up from, maybe a bad situation they were born in. If they work hard, they can, become millionaires or rental property owners or whatever it may be. It's just the opportunity is so, I think, forgotten. I think people just don't recognize how much opportunity you have living in this country.
Very cool.
Love it. Amen to that. Love it. All right. Well, thank you. We're going to wrap up a little bit of business before we jump off. I've got a sleep better tip, which I think you're going to like.
Oh, good. I don't sleep well.
Yeah, I often, here, our gift to you, we'll give you this.
Oh, awesome.
So we give this book out we offer this to everybody that visits. We'll gift it to you. You just go to gardenersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. Our team is now sleep science coach certified. So they are the experts at helping you. I wrote the book on the general belief and system of sleeping better. But we always say, folks, go to page 37 in our book, Tips for Getting Better Sleep. My tip is to take us up on our offer to gift this book to you, and we will. gardenersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. Fill out the form. We'll mail you a copy because I think having it in your hand is important. Because my tip is commitment and consistency. there's a week, like if you commit to a week's worth of habits, starting on page 37 in this book, and then do it again next week, and then the third week, and then the fourth week, and then it becomes like just what you do about sleep. You're going to sleep a lot better, sleep a lot healthier. You're going to feel better. Everything else in your life is going to improve. Your weight, your skin, your emotions, your feelings, your stress, your energy, everything. Sleep is everything. And it's that third leg of a life well lived: diet, exercise, and sleep. And so that's it. Page 37 is my tip: commitment and consistency. We'll give you the book. Please come check it out. I'll give that to you.
Thanks. I need that.
All right. Testimonial time for Gardner's Mattress and More, 830 Plaza Boulevard, Lancaster, behind Park City Mall. This person, Lou, and I should say we now have over 1,000 5-star reviews online, Google and Facebook, which is really, really awesome. Yeah. But Lou gave us a review a few days ago. Drew spent over a couple hours across a couple days with Lou in the store here. And Lou just said at the end of his review, you will be hard pressed to find a mattress store that will take that amount of time to help you make a decision. And that's exactly what Drew and our team will do. Chris has it highlighted there. Thank you, Chris. Oh, he's given us a fire.
It is
emoji. But thank you, Lou. Thanks to all of our customers who invest in their sleep here at Gardner's Mattress and More and say some kind things about us online. So thank you, Lou.
Yep. Christina, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you guys. This was so fun.
Good show. Great information. Please connect with her in the show notes if you have any questions on all things Lancaster real estate, what's happening around Penn Medicine Park and the stadium district that's in the works. If you care about things like that, be a part of it now. Come check out, get to their meetings, see what they're doing, be a part of it. If you have a great idea, those meetings, those places, that's where it gets shared. If you have a home to sell or buy, get with our money girl, Christina. If you want to know more about real estate, get her book, Money Girl. And that's on Amazon. So be sure to check out and connect with her. Again, all in the show notes, wherever you're picking this up or watching it. And I'm sure she'll take great care of you. Christina, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
And set your clocks to it. We'll be back here next Monday at 2:00. Ben will be here with Drew. I'll be in Las Vegas.
That's right.
Jeff. I have to go work, go to mattress camp, and go find more mattress stuff to do mattressy things with. But that's what I'll be doing next Monday. And you'll be here at 2:00 in Lancaster, because that's what Lancaster does. 2:00, Lancaster Connects. See you next time.
Comments of this floated through the roof. So there you go.